All right, hello everyone. This is Leo here. Just want to talk to you about Polymega again. Maybe someone is looking for Polymega information online, and I'll straight up give you my personal opinion on this. Just my personal opinion, doesn't have to be yours. Whatever, I don't care what yours is. I'm telling mine. Okay, don't buy this. Don't order this. Don't ever buy anything from this company ever. If you have one, sell it for whatever amount of money you can get for it, with all of its whatever stuff that you have with it, whatever modules or whatever crap you have, and forget about this awful company. And that's it. And I'll be giving you the reasons why I think that, because again, this is quite terrible. In case people don't understand, people don't know, the Polymega was announced as, I think, retro blocks in like 2017, or may could even be 16. It's almost 10 years ago. Maybe 17, max 18. I know it's not after 2018. I think 2018 probably Polymega really got announced. Certainly 2019. And so back then, uh, something, this guy, I forgot his name, good for him, because he doesn't even want his name out there anymore because he's so ashamed of what a fraud he is. Um, he was talking about how hard it is to get these old consoles to run on a new television, and you get all kinds of problems and this and that. Analog was coming out with FPGA solutions for retro gaming, and this guy was talking about how we need something, to play TurboGrafx 16 and Super Nintendo and all these things on a modern television that's not a super expensive or a huge hassle. And since then, I mean these games as physical cartridges, right? And then since then, not only has um, has Analog released multiple consoles that play these games. But most importantly, the RetroTink got released. There's a RetroTink 2X, right? That you just plug into these consoles and you play them on a modern television with basically no lag. And so the problem is solved immediately. And so the console became completely obsolete because the entire thing was that you used to need a frame master or something like that to plug these consoles into a television. And it was so expensive and it's so hard. Now it's not anymore. So, but even if you don't want that, right? I mean, we have actual FPGA solutions. And this is the thing, because he was saying that, what we all know, software emulation is not that great. It's good, but it's not that great. And that's why a lot of people go for FPGA solutions. And he was promising this hybrid emulation that's impossible to make. Everybody told him it was impossible to make. He didn't believe people who were telling him that. So he spent a bunch of money trying to develop that. He overworked his developer who left the company, and then he was shit out of luck with no product to sell and a bunch of money squandered in this project. And so he just said, fuck it, I'll make a PC emulation box and sell that instead of the FPGA thing that I was promising. But there were still more problems because to sell a Saturn emulator, you can sell Mednafen, which is what he has in this thing, to people, but you can't sell the Sega BIOS that the Saturn requires. So he had to pay someone to develop the BIOS. And so that took longer than he expected. And so the system was delayed a long time, but he never admitted really that part of the delays were because of software problems that he was having. And then COVID hit. And then, it's just mismanaged from top to bottom, the price was way too low. He was selling this for 200. He promised this for $250, if I remember correctly, back in the day. And look at the price now, 490 euros. Um, but this is not even what I'm talking about. I'm just giving you a background that these guys have been delaying. And the most important thing is every time they delay this console, they just go silent. They don't address it. You buy the console and then they don't send it to you. What do they tell you? Nothing. Fuck all. Okay? And today, this thing that it is absolutely garbage. I I'm pretty sure even the newer Raspberry Pi boards give you better performance than this, because this is a two core, sometimes four threads, sometimes only two threads, because in the beginning they put a Pentium in this and then later they switched to a Celeron, which is a weaker processor. From This processor is like from 2018 or something like that, 2017. The fact that they're charging 490 is that completely absurd, because this is literally just a PC with a bunch of free emulators installed, because it's literally MagnaFan and Kega Fusion and MAME. It runs Neo Geo on MAME. Uh, and whatever is the NES thing, that's also something you can just download off the internet. And I don't even think these are the best emulators there are for these systems. So this is what this is, and you can buy for 200 euro nowadays a mini PC that outperformed this by multiple times, because this is so old technology, this is so crap. And so this makes absolutely no sense. So you shouldn't buy this. But there is another reason, because I already told you, these guys have a history of half a decade of not shipping stuff to people, but also not telling them why or when they're going to ship or whatever is happening. They just go silent, they just ghost you. And then they announce something else and they start selling something else while the people are waiting for the thing they bought and paid for in full, and they don't get it. Now, this base unit and the whatever bundle thing, that's a big bundle of lots of these adapters, the stupid adapters. The entire thing is a mess, because it's just stupid to have all these things lying around. If you're gonna have a bunch of adapters lying around, you could just have the consoles lying around for these prices. I mean, just get the original stuff, because you're gonna be doing much better. But again, because this thing is supposed to play original hardware, but it just dumps the cards or cartridges or CDs and whatever, and it doesn't really run them as analog runs them from the cartridge. So it's pretty pointless. So, but the thing is, this was supposed to ship Q1 2025. And I think that date was given last year, right? Last year, if you bought a Polymega, you would get it Q1 2025. And now, on their website, what they're saying is that if you buy this, I mean, that this is a pre-order, and anything that was purchased prior to May 1st, okay, is gonna ship summer 2025. Again, a vague date. And then for other orders placed after that in the fall. But with their history of not delivering, this date right there just got pushed. And they don't respond to people. Let me show you this. Let's go to Twitter now. So you got the base idea, okay? The base idea. You get this ridiculous, I don't know. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know why you guys buy this. This seems to me incredibly stupid. Because again, there are solutions out there. It's so lazy to buy this thing to support a company that's known to be one of the worst companies in retro gaming. I mean, something from Hyperkin. It's garbage, but at least they ship their stuff on time. Mostly, I guess, right? I mean, this there were updates that broke games on this. You're paying an incredible, insane premium to have this. And then you have people changing the processor in this to an i3 so that they can play Nintendo 64 without slowdown because the emulation quality is garbage. You get it? You're paying $400 for this, $500 for this, and then extra for the module just to play Nintendo 64. And then you have to change the processor so that it runs the games properly, and then the system updates and the games that you were playing already, they don't work anymore. This actually happened. Just take a look at no just take a look into this. This system should be absolutely freaking flawless for this price. Absolutely flawless. It should ship with premium shipping, premium free shipping the next day. Like when you're paying this kind of price for something, I mean, 500 euros for an emulation PC, are you kidding me? It doesn't even come with a module, it just has a CD player in there for the PlayStation and Saturn and Sega CD and whatever that it plays. It doesn't even come with modules out of the box with this. The price for the deluxe bundle is 700 euros. At this price, I'm buying a gaming PC. And then I'll emulate everything up to PlayStation 4. I'm not even kidding. Do you guys understand this? For $700, you buy a system that can emulate everything up to PlayStation 4. Obviously, the emulation quality is going to be higher. Obviously, you're going to be able to lower the latency on a system like that. It's going to be better in every single way. Plus, it's going to play PC games. Kind of entry level, but I mean, not even that much. Nowadays, for 700, like you get something like an RTX 3060 probably, at least a 3050. But a 3050 has more VRAM than this thing has RAM in it. Anyway, you get it? Just the VRAM of the graphics card that you're getting, it has more RAM than this entire system. It's probably like over 10 times more power. And in some senses probably even more, something like 100. I don't even know how to measure the difference because this is so crap. You know, $700 is an absolutely insane investment to put into this. And again, you're paying this premium, but the company's trash. They don't even answer to you when you have a problem. And the updates broke games in the past and all that kind of stuff. So let's go into Twitter. And we have this guy here who I think he's tired of this bullshit. And every single day he posts on Twitter asking for Polymega for his console. Again, this is not some random dude trolling Polymega. This is not a situation like me who, I'm pissed at Polymega for lying to their customers in 2019 and then in 2020 and 2021 and 2022 and 2023. I have been looking at this thing for like 7 years now. And it's all this fucking bullshit. I'm gonna go through so many things that are happening. Okay, but this is not me because I never bought a Polymega because I have a good radar for scams, and so I don't buy scam consoles. When I see something and there is something fishy about a company, I do not buy. I don't buy. I don't buy stuff like a a, any television amico or something like that. I don't buy a Polymega because it's very similar stuff. I wasn't going to buy the Coleco Camellia, right? But this guy didn't do his research. But hey, listen, whatever, dude, like, why are you buying this crap? Just ask for your money back and never talk to this company again. Or even forget this, because even if you get this thing, this is such a piece of shit that it's not even worth plugging this into your television. You get it? You can get better stuff. You can get a better system that actually runs the games well. You can, nowadays, Okay, you can buy a Mr. Pie, and they were even in stock very recently. Maybe they are still in stock. And it's something like $200 shipped to your house. And it's an FPGA system that plays with high accuracy, compatible with analog displays and digital displays. And it plays everything that the Polymega plays, and plus a bunch of more stuff and arcade stuff. You can't plug in you know, your freaking cards and cartridges and whatever, but there are even projects out there that give you cart dumpers that are way cheaper than the Polymega modules. You're actually having real FPGA gaming for a fraction of the cost of the Polymega that wanted to be an FPGA system from the beginning, right? I mean, they went into this bullshit of hybrid emulation, whatever crap, right? Who freaking cares? Like they were riding on the hype of the FPGA high quality emulation systems, and now the price for those dropped tremendously. Or you can have that other one that's a console and it comes everything pre-installed, everything. But I mean, the Mr. Pi comes pre-assembled for you. You don't have to do anything, and it's easy to use. And when they update, the games don't break. The compatibility is incredibly high, and the accuracy is incredible. And you guys are buying this garbage just because it has some whatever fancy UI. This is so ridiculous. Look at and the price, but you don't even get it. Like you buy it, they promise it, and they don't even give it to you. So okay, this guy is asking Polymega for something, no response. Fuck you, right? You paid all this money for this console, then you want to ask the company for something. And this company, they are active on Twitter. Okay, it's not like they are not active on Twitter. They are. They post on Twitter, but they ignore their customers because they want to, because they know if they write anything, the people who are waiting for products that they were promised and never got those products, that all the broken promises that they made, people start asking them about it immediately because they want to know. So again, this guy, you see, he's just answering to every single thing that Polymega writes and asking for his products. Okay, so another one. Any word on the Polymega Remix and the second Atari module? So Polymega Remix is something that they promised years ago that you would be able. It was going to be an adapter that you could plug into a PC, and then you could plug these modules to play these games on your own PC. You would be able to download the software and then plug in the modules to the adapter. It's a terrible idea because if you already have a PC, just play the games on the PC. Just install RetroArch or add whatever other front end you like and play the games on that. And that's it. Why would you go for the Polymega adapter bullshit, right? But they promised that and they never delivered. And so this guy is actually asking about that one, right? So yeah, every day, every day. When does Polymega? Okay, why does it not have a sleep mode, right? It you turn it on and you turn it off. Oh, because it's a piece of shit. But you paid premium for a product that's not actually premium. Glad to see what? Glad the series didn't continue too longer. Okay, I don't know that. To Thunder Force, because they're releasing these games, right? They're licensing games and putting them on a CD so that you can play them on the Polymega. You can install these games to the system, so, which means you download the ROMs to the system, and then you can play these games. These games probably all have collections on Steam and all that kind of stuff, right? I mean, it is what it is. It's not that terrible of an idea, but it's just coming from a company that's garbage and it's half owned by Atari, which is also fucking garbage in my opinion. But Atari still does stuff, right? Atari still has a few games that are actually good that they released. Yars Revenge, re something, Recharged. Seems like a pretty decent experience. I mean, uh, Yeah, I mean, Polymega announces. Look, you know, they announced that they have a new system update for you to download, right? But then the people who don't have the system that they paid for, probably like 6 months ago, maybe more, and paid a premium again, and don't even get an answer, right? They're slightly annoyed that Polymega is talking about new products and new modules and new this and new updates, and they don't have the fucking console. New games for you to play. Well, I can't. I don't have the console. Still waiting. And this is another user, right? Uh, so the light gun, another product that they, I mean, and this is the thing that I'm telling you about Polymega, which is a huge problem. And I don't see anyone talking about this, which again is frustrating. They promised light guns. They even sent out a message telling people that they were going to ship the light guns last year. And then they didn't. And then they didn't say anything anymore. They told people to update their addresses so that they could send the light guns out. Look at this. This is a user, right? Remember this, confirm our address back in October 2024 because you were going to ship our light guns in December 2024. You said, please do not delay. Let's take a look at this. Okay. So this is cut, right? You can't really see properly. I'm gonna have to mess a little bit with this, but we're gonna do it. Okay, so we are preparing to ship your order. Yeah, I'll have to redimension this so that it fits in the screen. So we're preparing to ship your order, and to ensure accurate delivery and prevent any additional delays, we request that you take a moment to review your shipping address to ensure your information is up to date. So we plan to begin shipping orders in December, so please do not delay, right? Send us your new address because we're gonna ship you the freaking light guns finally, because it took a long time for them to get there to ship this stuff. And no, they didn't. And the thing is with this is pretty serious in my opinion. Maybe some people don't care at all, but I mean, when people buy a Polymega, they're buying it partially because of the light gun, because it's a console that has announced that they are going to have a light gun that plays on a modern television. And so you buy this console thinking that you're gonna get the light gun to play light gun games. So it's part of the value that you're paying for. But then you don't get that, right? You paid for the value of having an online store. They never released an online store. You paid for the value of the light gun. They never delivered it. And so all this stuff that they promise and they never do. But the worst part is, in my opinion, the fact that clearly there are people waiting for their freaking consoles and they just don't release it. You see, no more purchases until my light gun arrives. People are waiting for this stuff. Now, Dreamcast support was never promised, so you can't, demand that. But if you buy a Raspberry Pi, it plays Dreamcast just fine. Plays a lot of stuff. If you, as I said, if you buy a gaming PC, a cheap gaming PC for $700 with entry level hardware, it's gonna blow this out of the water completely, right? And you're gonna be able to play your Dreamcast games or whatever you want. And on the PC, you can easily, for the CD stuff at least, you can easily burn ISOs and not burn ISOs, create ISOs. I'm not sure for Dreamcast because they have different discs, but maybe you can dump Dreamcast games and stuff. So I'll go straight to Polymega. their own Twitter. Because again, you'll see they are actually active on Twitter. They post, they rip off analog and post this little short game uh, previews, whatever, of these games that they have, right? And then people respond to this probably with, "Where's my shit?" Well, in this case, no. Um, yeah, okay, so this guy's there asking stuff, right? But they will not respond. They'll post this bullshit, but they will not respond. They don't have to respond on Twitter, right? But they have to respond to these people that their console is delayed. Some of these people probably didn't realize because they never got any message saying that their console was delayed again, and they will have to watch this video or go to the store page and read that text that says that the consoles are delayed till summer. So again, if you don't have a Polymega, do not buy one. You don't know whether you're gonna get it. If you get it, you don't know what you're gonna get because they change the specifications. They changed the processor in this for a worse one, and they didn't tell anyone. And so it's only because I only know this because some people did teardowns. And I also know because I saw it online multiple times. There's a bunch of people who changed the processor because Nintendo 64 doesn't even run well on the system. And so if you change the processor, then it runs properly. Because again, this is a very old, very entry level processor that is like really, really bad for today's standards. This is probably something like 20, 22 nanometers, maybe like at best 14 nanometers, which is like ancient stuff nowadays. Nobody's using that kind of stuff anymore. So I guess this is it. I don't have too much to say. I'm, because what else can I say? All these promises, all these games, not these games, all these products, again, a store, light gun, adapters for the computer, all these things that they promise people, and again, just sending the overly expensive garbage base unit and deluxe bundle to the people who purchased it. It's just ridiculous. But it's also pretty ridiculous that people support this in any way, shape, or form. Just it's pretty mind-boggling. I mean, at this point, just buy an Evercade. I don't like the Evercade. I don't think the Evercade is great, but the Evercade actually delivers something for the price that they're asking for that makes some kind of sense. It doesn't play original stuff, but I mean, if you want the original experience and play your original, as I said, your original media, because this is the target audience for this. People who want to collect and they want to play the original media and have that original experience. Nowadays, it's so freaking easy to do that. Just grab a RetroTink or whatever and plug the consoles in. You don't have to modify these consoles anymore to play them on the TV. Why are you playing emulation? It's not even that high quality when you could have the real thing easily. And if you really want a premium experience with the original cartridges and original CDs and all that, then obviously you can get these RetroTink 5Ks and these newer stuff that is high quality. You can have 4K filters on your image, just like Polymega has, like these CRT filters for whatever television. I think that's ridiculous. I'd rather just grab a Mr. FPGA and have that do it doesn't do 4K though, but just have that to do some filters and whatever, especially now that it's just a small fraction of the price of what you're getting here. But whatever, even if you want this, and if you buy this, then at this point, if you watched this video and you still buy this, then you even deserve to never get a console. Because why are you getting this when you know that these guys delay or even don't ship at all? So I mean, the light guns were never shipped to anyone. Maybe some whatever test unit, some whatever prototype thing to someone. I'm not sure, but the people who the customers didn't get the light guns ever, and this has been on the making for probably half a decade too, because this is Sinden light gun technology, and the Sinden light guns. This is an old thing. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's obsolete, but I mean it's from ages ago. It even runs on the Mr. FPGA that I was talking about. You can get an Mr. FPGA as Sinden light gun and do what Polymega doesn't. And you still want to buy this, fine, you buy this, and then don't complain that you don't get what, because you know that's what happens. Like you literally know it already, and you're still gonna do it. But again, some people maybe don't know. They don't realize because nobody talks about this. Nobody's talking about the fact that Polymega is out there not shipping the consoles to the people who pre-ordered it, who bought it, who paid for it. And you pay for it when it's not like Amazon, whatever thing where you purchase, you buy the thing, and they will wait, and when they ship the console to you or they ship the product to you, then they get your money. No, Polymega gets your money full up front, and then they let you waiting and don't even update you on this stuff for months on end. So that's all I wanted to say about Polymega. And I mean, I don't really care too much. I mean, I care that people are getting like totally ripped off, but I don't care about the Polymega. For me, this company should go under. I don't know why a company that this crappy exists in the market. But yeah, see, they joined January 2016. So you can't join X before you exist, right? So we're talking about almost 10 years, and this guy haven't gotten their shit together yet. It's just ridiculous. And Atari owns half of this. 49% of the company was sold to Atari to get money to, and they still can't do it. This is so incompetent. This is so mismanaged. This is so crappy. It's sad. But again, I don't care. But if people, I mean, people who bought it, obviously, the people who bought it are not at fault. They're victims, right? They should get the shit that they were promised. There was a timeline that this is what I mean. The timelines from this company, they're fantasy. They don't actually exist. They just say whatever date, and they hope that they're gonna release or ship that date. It happened since the beginning. They hoped, they lied saying that they did have hybrid emulation working, but they didn't. They hoped they would figure it out. They said they had the console completely finished with the software completely finished. I think that was like 2019, but they didn't have everything finished. They were still finishing it. And that's why it delayed, but then it delayed into COVID. And then they were screwed. And then when it came out of COVID, they had already burned through a lot of money. So it started this Ponzi scheme like operation where they need new orders from new products to pay for the older stuff. And then to a point where they had to sell half the company to Atari just to pay manufacturing for new stuff or to keep developing things. Because it's all mismanaged and all, and all fucked up. It is so not worth it, especially for the price. It's so absolutely not fucking worth this thing. Look at what's the Mr. Multi-System. If you want something that looks like a console and you want to play games, it doesn't have cartridge adapters. Okay, so you have to find a way to dump your stuff. Why would you? Just you can collect and have your cartridges and then have the complete ROM sets. It's even good to do that, right? It's great to do that. You have your complete ROM sets on your Mr. FPGA. you have all the NES, Famicom, Mega Drive, Master System, Super Nintendo, and yes, I think I already said that. And Saturn, PlayStation, Nintendo 64. Mr. FPJ plays that all. Okay? It plays all these things. It plays Atari 26, 52, 7800, and it plays the Commodore 64. It plays the Atari computer systems. It plays arcade games up and down, you know. And then you can test the games and collect the games. If you play a game and you really like the game and you want to have it, you can buy it. It's fine. You can still buy the games and own the games and look at the box and read the thing. You can't play the game from the system, but the Polymega does not. It literally does not play the game from the system. It just dumps a game. It's the same shit. It's the same bits. It doesn't make a difference. You get it? I mean, whatever. If I mean, if people want to do it, they do it. I mean, I told you though, right? I've been telling you people since the beginning. Most people don't watch my videos. Of course, they don't. Why would they? I don't blame people for not watching my videos. I probably wouldn't either. So, but I'm just saying, like, if you're listening to this, and maybe if you're a part of the community, you might get word out because it's very like this is a very garbage um, community, the Polymega community, because they get their product and someone else doesn't, right? And they ignore that fact. I talked to General Akbar, which is Bacon Ass Cream, and he and I told him, well, great for you. You're getting your Polymega, you're doing Polymega content, you are promoting Polymega now, all happy. And there are a bunch of people out there who don't have their Polymega. They paid for the Polymega in full and they never got it. And you're supporting this company, helping them make more sales for more people to pay for this. And then God knows when and if they're going to get any consoles. Because my worst fear has always been like, is this company just going under? And then these people don't get shit, don't get anything at all. They have been afloat, so it's good, but still, it's been afloat at a high cost of constant lies and constant delays and constantly breaking their promises to their customers. So that's really what it is. Tell me what you think about the crappy people. I mean, even if this thing was like $300 and it shipped today, and the modules were like 40, this would still be too expensive, too crappy, useless, pointless, right? It would still be garbage. Even if it was way, way, way better than it is, it would still be garbage. But that's just my opinion. At least if they shipped the thing and if it worked as advertised, it would be a little bit easier to swallow. It would be kind of like these other companies, like Hyperkin. When well, products are kind of crappy, you can do better than that. But hey, they're legit products. You can watch a review and buy it or not. They're not. I'm not sure they're lying to you or not. I haven't been watching Hyperkin too closely. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.